Hello guys and welcome to my tutorial on anime, what is it? Gosh, I've forgotten it already. Brilliant start, isn't it? Anime Studio Pro. I think it's actually Anime Studio Pro 9, but anyway, yeah. So basically this episode is going to teach you how to do, well, the basics on Anime Studio Pro 9. So the basics include frames, keyframes, and layers. So yeah, let's get started. So okay, I've got my document here, and well, here we go. So here's my layer. So for this particular one, I'm gonna draw a shape. And oh yeah, and just before you hear it, you might hear noises. There's some construction going on next door, and I just heard a car beep. So that's just brilliant, isn't it? So anyway, yeah, let's just make a circle. Here we go. There's our circle. And I mean, I could rename it, but I'll do it in another episode. But so this is layer 1, and layers basically mean how far something back it is, or how close to the screen it is. And yes, so this is layer 1, and here's our circle, and I'm going to make layer 2 now. And just for all you new people out there, if you've done animation before, then you probably don't really need to watch this episode anyways. But yeah, so a vector is basically an image that you can stretch and resize, and it will not lose its quality. A bitmap is basically a photo that you take and you shrink down to a small little picture, and then you stretch it back to its original size. It will be blurry as hell, but a vector does not lose its quality through manipulation, so to speak. But yeah, if you want to draw something like a circle or lines or a face or a character or anything like that, you pick a vector. So there we go. Here's layer 2. Now, if you've noticed, layer 1 is below layer 2. So I'll just press enter on that. And okay, layer 2 is higher than layer 1. So if I just draw a triangle, and this is what layers do. If a layer is higher than another layer, it will be in front of it. And examples, see? So yeah, that's what layers basically do. And it's good for drawing characters with like eyes and a face, but you don't want the eyes further back so you can't see the eyes because the nose is covering it, or a mustache which is basically stuck inside a mouth, or you know, it's just something like that. And let's make a new layer vector again, and I will create a I don't know, no, don't like that colour actually. We'll do this one. We'll do a rectangle. It's worth noting as well that I am colourblind, so probably using colours is not the best thing to do, but I think that's a blue, or it may be a purple, I'm not entirely sure, but anyway, for this tutorial it's fine. So, as you can see, layer 3 is higher than layer 2 and layer 1, and basically whatever layer is closest to these little icons at the top, the 5 little icons, that is the top, that is the tip top. Anything on the top is higher than anything else below. But yeah, I'll show you. So the rectangle is higher than anything else, and the triangle is, because it's in between 3 and 1, it is higher than number 1, so it doesn't go behind the circle, but it's not as high as layer 3, so it goes behind the rectangle. So I hope all that makes sense. Now let's go on to frames and keyframes. So frames and keyframes, I was going to do one of those little what are keyframes sort of thing, but nah. Frame 0 is your workspace. Anything in frame 0 is your editing. Nothing can be edited when the video is in play. I mean, you can move stuff, but you can't physically edit. At least that's, to my knowledge, you can't anyways. But yes, let's start with this. So at frame 1, so at the start of your animation, which is frame 1 out of 240, and it's worth to note as well that if you go into your file and project settings, and frame rate basically means how many frames they are per second. I think that's what FPS stands for. Well, besides first person shooter and stuff. If it's like 24 FPS, that means there's 24 individual little pictures within that second, and you can edit I don't know, 24 pictures within that 1 second. So yeah, with that, so there will be 24 frames in this 1 second, and as you can see as well, it does say 24, and just behind the line it says 1. So yeah, but these are frames. That's all you really need to know about frames, to be honest. There's not much to frames, but yeah, anyway. And as you can see here, frame 1 out of 240. If you want to increase your animation to maybe I don't know, say 3 minutes or something, you need well, what is it? What would the sum be for that? If there's 24 frames in a second, then that would be 60 seconds. So it'd be 24 times 60 basically. That'd be 1 minute. So if you wanted to do an animation for 3 minutes, you would have to do 24 times 60 times 3, or 24 times 180. But anyway, enough of all that, because yeah, so that's all there is on frames. Now for keyframes, basically keyframes, even though they've got a similar name to frames, they're not actually, they don't really have anything to do with frames. Well, I mean, I guess they do a little bit, but they don't. Well, anyway, let me just show you anyways. So frame 1, let's just get our we'll get our circle, and on frame 1 we click on our circle, and keyframes have appeared. So that's it. Keyframe is a position or anything, any sort of manipulation at all. Any manipulation that's done will be keyframed, and then you can use it as a tween. If you don't know what tweens are, tween is basically a point A to B, and it will animate between A to B. So yeah, with that said, let's scroll to frame 24, and then we will drag our ball just over here, and as you can see, more keyframes have appeared. So if I drag this over, as you can see, the ball moves between A and B, and basically that's what a keyframe is. Well, the movement part anyways. And if I drag it to frame 48, I drag it over here, but I will make it smaller as well. And then, yeah, we'll move. Sorry, I nearly burped then. So yeah, we'll leave it there like that. And if I go back to frame 1 and I press play, the ball got smaller in the animation. So that's another way that keyframes will record as well. And it's a good way to basically make a bouncy ball animation of sorts. Say, for example, we'll go to frame 60 and we'll put the ball there, and then so that's a straight line, and then here we'll move it up a bit, here we'll move it up a bit, move that bit up a bit as well, and then we'll move that up. And if things go right, Brian, well, it's okay. It's a bit of it's a work in progress, let's say. But yeah, that's that as well. That's how keyframes record basically. So with all this done, I explained layers, I think, didn't I? Oh yeah, it's worth to note as well. I'll probably do this in a separate tutorial, but I'll mention it anyways as a quick bonus, so to speak. Every single layer has its individual timeline, so you won't ever get confused with the ball's timeline with the rectangle's timeline or the triangles. So as you can see, if I go back to layer 1, here is all of the ball's activity, and then I go to layer 3, which is the rectangle, and there's nothing there at all. That's weird, that. It gives it like a different look. That's cool. Anyway, yeah, like I said, no activity at all, so that you will never get mixed up with that, which is a good thing actually, because in Flash you've got one massive timeline with everything on it, and I guess for accessibility it's better, but I mean, if you've got like a massive animation going on, you can probably get confused at sometimes. But yeah, that pretty much covers everything. If you've got any questions, please leave in the comments below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. I usually reply anyways, I'm a bit of a loner like that. But anyway, yeah, thank you for watching.